Hi, for those viewing this video, my name is LaDeja Lewis and I'll be the presenter on this video. What is special education? Special education is a design instruction that addresses the needs of students who needs additional help. Special education is provided to students at no cost through the educational program. Learning the history of special education. Elementary and Secondary Education Act, 1965. This law helped in creating equal access to quality of education, and it also gives free and reduced lunch, initiatives to help low-income families, and to increase the number of teachers in low-income areas. Vocational Rehabilitation Act in Section 504, 1973. The importance of this law is that it prohibits demonstrations against students with disability in terms of federal financial assistance, and it provides a definition of appropriate education. Educational Amendments Act of 1974. This act gives students and their families a right to due process in special education. Education for All Handicapped Children Act 1975. This law defines LRE, IEP, and zero rejection policy. The act made sure that all students with disability received free and appropriate public education. Board of Education of Hudson Central School District versus Rowley. This case happened in 1982. A student was denied the provision of a sign language interpreter, which was a violation of the Education of All Handicapped Children Act of 1975. Rowley parents contested this decision, and the district court ruled that Rowley was being denied appropriate education. This case redefined FAPE, which stands for Free and Appropriate Public Education. Education of Handicap Amendments, 1986. The importance of this act is that free and appropriate education for students with disability was extended to the ages 3 to 5. This law also created the Early Interventions Program for children with disabilities from birth to 2 years old. This is also known as the Handicapped Infants and Toddler Program. Hong vs. Doe. In 1988, a case was presented to the U.S. Supreme Court where the School Board of California violated the Education of All Handicapped Children Act. This school had suspended a student for his behavior that he could not control due to his disability. The ruling of this case is that schools cannot expel students for the behavior related to their disability. The key takeaway from this law is that it prohibits demonstration against people with disabilities in the workforce. This act also provides equal opportunity to employment, accommodations, services, transportation, and everyday society needs. This is the Americans with Disability Act 1990. Individuals with Disability Act IDEA 1990. This act has students to transition programs at the age of 16, education programs for bilinguals, and it also extended the education services and social services and rehabilitation. And it also includes due process information, confidentiality, and parent-student participation. No Child Left Behind Act 2000. This act is important because it includes early intervention reading programs for students, school choice for students from failing schools, teachers must be highly qualified, and increase the accountability of the school based on the student's education. The IDA Improvement Act. This act made changes to the original act, which included changes to the IEP, due process, and students' discipline. This law also set a high standards for special education students, increased the federal funding, and the RTI, which was put into place, which stands for Response to Intervention. Every Student Succeeds Act, ESSA 2015. With the new law, that states has more control when it comes to standardized testing. This law states that 1% of students could receive an alternate assessment, and this law includes bullying prevention plans. And on this page, this is a stay up to date with special education. Thank you.